people who are responsible for these dastardly acts of killing. Now, what is happening is that in certain places, Assam Rifles has been resisted. In certain places, CRPF has been resisted by the ordinary people. So there should be a better coordination between people and the government, which is most wanted after an incident happens. Now, ground level coordination is missing. Then the IDPs are still not able to return home. They are still in the camps. So you can see the backdrop of the tension, the kind of anguish that is probably there at the psychological level in the
Yeah.
minds of the people. We need to reduce the tension level. That's very, very important. Yeah.
Let me then take this across to PK Mishra, former ADG of the BSF. What is the need of the hour when it comes to cutting those tensions and getting the Kokomi back into the negotiation table?
Krishna, I'm totally agreeable with Dr. Prasanjit, what he was telling. It's absolutely correct in his view. It's not, I will add something, Krishna. It's not only Tronglobi which is boiling. It's not only Imphal which is boiling. It is not Imphal East which is boiling. It is not Thobal which is boiling. It is not Bishnupur which is boiling. It is not Churachandpur which is boiling. Ukhrul is boiling maximum. Krishna, I'm giving you one more axis. In Ukhrul, Tamkhul, Naga plus few groups, I mean Arambai Tangol, they have combined because of killing of these two Nagas earlier. Now 2 cookies were killed in Malum village. And what is happening in Senthal Khai village and Malum? Things are pretty bad in Ukhrul. Ukhrul is more volatile than Tronglobi and Tarakhong Sangbi and Kwakta. So why this is happening? Of course, Honorable Chief Minister is trying his hard, and Nemcha Kipgen also, she has asked all the political groups to come together. But I only laugh at Nemcha Kipgen because her husband is the chief of KNF. What she's telling about political parties to get together. But we have to see the demands of 7 demands of Kokomi, which they have given it to Honorable Chief Minister. Of course, there was some problem in Chief Minister residence because the flag march was there by both Arambai Tangol and Kokomi and also Mirapaivis, and a lot of, police also, they tear gassed and used lathi charge. But that is a different issue. Why you see the mistrust is it is increasing? Why the violence is increasing? I have told you earlier, until and unless, because you see the problem is the security personnel, they are not getting the field intelligence. Weapons are coming maximum. We have a lot of weapons in both with Arambai Tangol, with all, with cookie groups, with every group. So I can only tell after, of course, I'm giving the prior information. After the Bengal election is over, I hope maximum forces from Bengal to be sent to Manipur and see the way Naxalism was wiped out in Chhattisgarh and other areas in the red corridor, which has been converted to green corridor. We have to see, we have to utilize all these forces to see that the weapons with all these militants, it may be Kukijo militants, it may be Arabai Tang, it may be anybody who is having weapon, they should be caught, they should be behind bar, and our border should be sealed, and we have to have maximum anti-operation in those hill areas by these forces. I am very sure the forces are coming. I should not speak more about how the forces are coming and when they are coming. I know it pretty well that they are coming. There will be, upsurge of this anti-militancy operation. And I will tell you, see the drugs, the way drugs are coming now. You see the 7 crore drugs were found with two Churachandpur ladies at Assam, and poppy cultivation is going and going and going in Churachandpur and Tignopal, both the sides. How come it has started? And 4 women from Churachandpur, they were held. And you see those 2 persons, those who were killed by Tamkhul Naga at Mulam. One is from Singhat and one is from Kankopi. What they were doing at Mulam. To Ukhrul, we have to see that it has to be, and the way we are developing, we are getting intelligence, and we are operating in Kashmir with under one umbrella. The similar way the operation should take place, as Prasanjit was telling. That is what we have to do for 4 or 6 months. There is no question of living any violence, living any militant who is having weapons. they should be either caught or Yogi model. The Yogi model has to come to Manipur. There is no other option,
Okay.
I'm telling you, and the border has to be sealed. And I'm very sure the Honorable Chief Minister can do it. He's already discussing with all the political parties to come together for a discussion, and I'm very sure he will be getting peace. He will be definitely trying to get peace in this area. But I'm very sure our operation is going to start very soon. I have a hope my security personnel will definitely bring back normalcy in Manipur, and they will be doing it. They will do it, and they shall do it after the Bengal election is over.
Okay, Professor Prasenjit Biswas, as far as
Yeah.
COCOMI is concerned, which has been leading the protest, they have series of demands. Chief among them are issues related to security, rehabilitation of displaced people, and policy decision like the suspension of operations. You have PK Mishra talking about more forces expected to arrive in Manipur post the West Bengal elections, but the COCOMI does not want any more forces.
Yeah, I mean, the past history of Manipur. Armed Forces Special Power Act right now has been invoked. And one of the clauses is that any officer who is designated above Havildar can, under suspicion, arrest or fire anyone or who is even going to create something in future, in apprehension. Now, the problem is that once such a kind of a martial law is applied in Manipur, the whole situation will become state versus people. I certainly don't want that level of a counteraction. The counteraction has to be measured, it should be preventive. And to take the preventive counteraction, as both of us agree here, that forces have to coordinate. Now, this coordination has to take into account the political situation. The political parties and the parties in power have to actively collaborate with the forces. Now, that collaboration is missing because there are political compulsions. Now, political compulsions create a situation like a loophole in the whole security system. Now, as long as such a loophole exists, what I was understanding is that even a buffer zone would have been something that doesn't allow one side to cross over to the other side. That kind of separation is absolutely needed. Then they talk about the political solution and political process which is advancing with the center. That also needs to be carried out in a certain way. So it should be a combined effect of all this. That's how you can restore confidence. Now, people who have been victimized, they should be really rehabilitated in the nicest possible way. A lot of investments, a lot of care are to be given to the areas and the people who are under threat and under fear at this moment, especially in the border between Imphal East and the hills and certain areas, other areas of the state. Kankwakpi is one, Churachandpur is another, even Ukhrul is another. Areas should be designated where people have to be given a sense of peace and security by the presence of the security forces, which will prevent any disruptive element to enter and create any kind of conflagration. Now, that kind of a policy which is localized and very actionable based on inputs have to be still to be drawn out. Without drawing this on the table, political leaders are talking with certain groups. That really doesn't stem the situation of violence on the ground. So I think a kind of a rigorous, scientific, politically correct kind of step needs to be evolved at this point of time. Manipur is crying and burning. Let's not whole shoulder the whole situation. Let's be more responsible. That would be the appeal from my side.
Okay, fair enough. PK Mishra, you've been wanting to come in. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Krishna, I can well tell you. Yes, though I agree with Mr. Prasenjit, but I will tell you. I was there. I was watching how we have finished Naxalism in Chhattisgarh and other areas. It is not only with the forces. It is not only with the weapon. It is with the development of the Naxal belt, Dandakarana, Abu Smar, and Saranda by Chhattisgarh government, and the way the development took place in education side, in road side, communication side, health side, and the surrender policy, that could help. And there was a coordination between the troops and the government, and that is what is needed in this state. And I'm very sure now what happens when the forces will come. Or first of all, these all buffer zones should be totally demolished, and particularly Churachandpur and Okhrol and those areas, Kangkopi and these areas, they should be handed over to a very senior security officer. And like in Naxal area in Chhattisgarh, like in Kashmir, there should be one general who should be in charge of all forces. It may be Assam Rifle, it may be ITBP, it may be BSF, it may be CRPF, it may be Manipur Rifles or anybody else. And that also, all the parties, whether it is Nagas, or whether it is Pangals, it is Kukijo community or Maitis or that way, anybody, all the persons, including the Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and the opposition, they must group together to see that development should take place in the hill areas and also in plain areas together. And the weapons have to be found out. And that I was telling you, Jogi model, let's not only think that Jogi is doing in UP. It has gone to many cases in abroad. A lot of countries are following him. Why can't we follow it in Manipur? We have followed it in Naxal areas also. Because you see, anybody who is armed, they are not handing over the arm. They should be punished. I don't want to tell in what way. If the weapons are available with them and they are found with the weapon, Jogi model, they have to be shot on the legs. There is no other option, I'm telling you. Because the way things are going wrong in Ukhrul and Tarunglobi and Kwakta, Tadakong Sagbi and Balam and Mkasai and Ukhrul, things are, you see, violence has relapsed and things are going away. And we have to be very cautious. The way and the security system has to be well controlled by a particular person who must know the ground. The ground reality should be known to that particular general who knows the border. Particularly the Manipur, Myanmar border, Mizoram, Myanmar border, it is very volatile. We have to see that the border has to be sealed, and then the operation will start from the hillsides. And we have to see the weapons those who are taken away from our armory. They have to be brought back. And all these things, it may be Sioux group, it may be any group having arms. They should be taught a lesson and they should be punished. They should be sent behind bars if they don't hand over the weapons. That's all the Jogi model. That's no other option, and I'm very sure government will do it. And political parties must come forward to have a dialogue between all these groups, and every group must come forward, not go for weapons. And particularly Manipur, not Manipur, Myanmar border.
Right.
Listen, I'm telling you, Manipur, Mizoram border is very, very volatile. This Tritim road, which is there from Mizoram to Manipur, that is supplying weapons to Manipur, coming to Churachandpur. We have to stop it. It's not only coming from Myanmar border, from Manipur in Technopal and More and those areas, it is coming from Mizoram border. You see, these Ukrainians and the army and the Americans they crossed over to Myanmar from Mizoram only, taking various weapons. So the Mizoram border is very volatile. We have to see that this border has to be checked. And this drug policy, we have to see that all this puppy cultivation has started. I know, even if they call me, I can well tell you I have got the information where the puppy cultivation has started. It's sitting at this place. I know it is. Why the government doesn't know it's sitting at Imphal? They know where the puppy cultivation is now going on. It has started. We have to destroy those puppy cultivation in the hills, particularly near Technopal area and Churachandpur area. It is going on. So let us be very careful. Let's be very careful.
Fair enough. We'll